feed the people, give them money to invest in agriculture,
Yes.
give them money to invest in ABC and
Yes,
projects.
I agree.
And that's no longer happening because
a
vast amount of money.
Hey, you cannot tell your son to go to school when the house is on fire. Your kid is supposed to go to sit have primary living exams, right?
Correct.
But then their house is on fire.
Oh, so
The house is on fire, and you're telling you, instead of telling your son to go fetch water, you're telling him to go and sit for PLE. Doesn't make sense.
The problem is the consistency.
Yes.
That the government has not done its part
What?
in making sure
That
one, if you're to invest in agriculture, how are we supporting these people? There are many people in Gulu especially who used to grow coffee and other products. Right now, as we speak,
Gulu has never had coffee.
They don't do anything like that.
Gulu has never.
They had maize.
Okay.
Gulu was well known for maize.
Until lately,
Today,
when Operation Wealth Creation took coffee to Gulu. But they've never had coffee time immemorial.
Today, we know that Gulu that used to give out maize is no longer doing great.
Yes.
Because the system has not given them an opportunity to these people.
The good thing.
Let's get out of that.
No,
discussion.
give me one chance to answer that. The good thing, we have the figures. We have the export production figures. Right. The amount of maize being produced in Uganda today versus what was produced before. Uganda is producing over 5 million tons of maize. It's coming from those places everywhere, all over the country. Uganda is producing, like this month, we had the largest export volume of coffee ever. We fetched $60 million from coffee in just 1 month.
All right.
It has never happened before.
I want to take you. I want to take you out of there. And I want to get down straight.
Let's go straight.
The key issues are now affecting Ugandans. The president recently came up yesterday and partially lifted the lockdown. And there's a number of people, a group of people, or many Ugandans who were happy that the president lifted certain things in the country. Yes. The problem is those who are going to stay locked are going to be affected more as others are gaining the wealth, because now the country is going to be more divided. That the president maybe did not look at this as a very strong point, and that's why we're seeing what we've just been discussing about the money given to musicians, because musicians claim they've been down, not doing business for a certain period of time. What the question where do we find these questions? From your people. The president opened up partially, but does that answer the question of whether people are going to get food at home? He did not put that strategy forward so strong as many Ugandans were expecting. But let's get this. Richard, I want to ask you this question now. Where do you see the future of the country when the president partially opened up some few businesses and technically closed what within the central business district, there is another central business area, which is Chukuwa for the case of Kampala. And the president says everyone who has been trading on the streets should stop, should get out. We're not talking about 1, 2, 3 people. We're talking about hundreds and hundreds of
thousands,
who are actually thousands who have been operating in this area. And he did not come up with a strategy where these people are going to go to. What does that tell the public?
No, he said, this is what he said. He said the administration of the city should look around to see where these people should go. But hold on, he said, what I don't want is the congestion that was happening there before. He said, I do not want congestion in Chikubo. If it happens again, I'm going to shut it down.
But the president, who is the first person of the country, he has billions of money around him.
Exactly.
He has advisors around him.
Yes.
He has every single person to help out the economy.
Yes.
He did not first think about, one, where are we putting these people?
No, he's not a micromanager.
He's not a micromanager, but he has a team. You cannot just wake up.
No, you tell the people, you say, hey, my assistant, my minister, my everybody, make sure I don't want to see congestion in Chikubo.
That's what he had to do first before coming.
you set a policy. A policy maker is a policy maker. He does not do the implementation. There are managers. The city manager is there, Mrs. Somebody, Chisaka, Dorothy Chisaka. She's there. She's the city manager. Find where you're going to put these people. Maybe put them in a new park. Put them somewhere. For the time being.
Richard, I understand it, and I want to take your answer for a fact. But there is one thing that I know about project management is you have to involve all the stakeholders in a project.
Yeah.
And we don't see where the president involved the stakeholders, the traders in Chikubo. He just woke up one day from his bedroom and said, well, I'm going to go to I'm going to be on the media, I'm going to be on TVs and radio and tell people, the wonderful mothers, the fathers, the children who have been taking care of their parents back at home, who have nothing to eat, that you will not supposed to come back to Chikubo because I am the president, without putting a strategy that, yes, you're not coming back here, let's sit down together and we'll put you in another place where you're going to be making this amount of money.
Listen, the government, the political leaders set the policy. The bureaucrats do the practical part of this. So the bureaucrats have to follow the policy of the elected leaders. The elected leaders will say, hey, I don't want that in this building. How you do it is your problem as the administrator. How you do it is you can bring the sweeping team, you can bring a washing team, you can bring machines, you can bring brooms, you can bring a vacuum, you can bring whatever. The way you do it is your problem as the administrator. My policy is to say this place has to be clean.
All right.
Yes, that's my job, to set policy, and there are people to implement this. You work with these people who have been deprived of a livelihood to find a way of working around it.
Do you believe that the government of Uganda in the recent past is now letting down the people of Uganda?
No, I don't believe so, because there's so much to do, because we are a developing country, and because of this, I see they set a policy in here in Waltham that there must be social distancing and masks and whatever. So these people went and shut off Moody Street. They blocked it. The business on Moody Street, what are they supposed to do? The policy is, this is the business part of Waltham. Let's block Waltham. Let's block Moody Street. The blocks are there. Almost a mile of shops were blocked out. You go downtown Boston, you go towards Macy's, that place is blocked. Why? It's a policy. The businesses are affected.
We saw opinions from people who are doing businesses on those streets you're talking about.
Yes.
The stakeholders.
Yes.
They were involved in the discussion.
Yes.
That, hey, you're gonna close us. Are you asking us to only have 45 people in our restaurants? Can you give us an extra space? And the city came out and gave them space.
Exactly.
That's what I was talking about. Many Ugandans out there are thinking about the same thing.
Yes.
They're like, why didn't the government come sit with us, the traders in Chikubo, and we discuss on the way forward?
No.
They've been down for months.
No. Hold on a minute. Now, here we are. We had to make bookkeeping. What was bookkeeping? We had to find out. We had to do the audit to find out how is COVID affecting Ugandans. We say the infection rates had come down. So what do? We can open up gradually. So how do we open up gradually? We are going to stop congestion in Chikubo. We're going to stop congestion in Natete. We're going to stop congestion in Nakulabi, in those highly populated places. Right. So this is what happens. Now, once the government has set policy, say, yes, we are opening up gradually, we don't want overcrowded places, then the administrators of the area have to sit down with the people they work with. So you see, he said the taxi toots and the taxi drivers and the taxi toots and the conductors have to have half the people in the taxis. So you may find out these taxi people are told, because you're going to be so many and you're going to be half the people, you're going to have 6 people in a taxi out of 12. So now they will say, we don't even need a conductor. It's when you're getting out, you pay the driver. This can happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yes.
I want
It's policy.
Richard, I want to thank you for your submission, and,
Yes.
and I believe that many people out there are responding to it. I will be shortly going to Facebook and find out what comments are coming in from most of our viewers right now. We understand what's going on, and of course there's so many questions that may be asked out there. But let's get after this. Let's get to the point of still on the lockdown issue. Parliament during the same time procured more cash. In other words, 200 million Uganda shillings was given out to parliamentarians to spend, have fun, enjoy themselves, drive around. In the same period, the same house that is supposed to work for the people is still receiving the 40 million Ugandan shillings that are paid monthly. Now, I want to break down how these members of parliament, so-called member of parliament, who are supposed to serve you Ugandans, are getting this money. They earn 25 plus million Ugandan shillings monthly. They had the allowances monthly. They do earn 50,000 Ugandan shillings on every sitting they have as a committee. Now, when you total up this amount of money, it goes to up to 40 to 45 million Ugandan shillings monthly, wasted on just one individual who you voted for to serve, represent your ideas. But guess what? This is the most interesting part, and I'm going to bring in Richard to give in his view. Only one person so far we have had campaigning against this exorbitant money spent by the parliament. That's Muhammad Segrinya. I started with that in my opening statement on the show. Millions. They get a car, 200 millions out, 40 millions out. And not forgetting, these are guys who never pay for their lunch, dinner, breakfast. So in actual sense, you may find that your parliament, the parliament of Uganda, which you voted for, spends close to 40 to 50 million Ugandan shillings just on canteens every single day. I want to ask you, and you may bring in your view, do you ever find out the reason why these people never talk about it? Okay, you, especially the people in your position, you have been so strongly advocating for this, that we need a parliament that speaks for the people, that understands the people. I'm talking about people like Joel Senyonya. I'm talking about people like Honorable Nambozi. I'm talking about people like Muhammad Segirinya. I'm talking about people like Muhammad Nsereko. These are people who have been strongly supporting the government, coming up with the policies that say government should do this and this and this. The only point where they don't come together to speak against the government is when it comes to their money. You voted for them. Now I want to ask you a question. If 526 people earn around 40 plus millions every year, every month that is spent on one individual, do you really think this government, this parliament, will take care of your problems? Do you think they will make policies that change your life? Now, Richard, I want you to kick in from that.
Yes.
This is not just ice cream as usual. This is not chocolate and coffee that we always take in the morning while driving to work. This is serious business. These guys eat a lot of money, and the country is now suffering through it. It is now in a very dangerous period. Lockdown is hitting. People running poor. They don't say no to the 200 million shillings that was given to them. What's your view on that?
Yeah, basically this thing, I have not been a supporter of giving people 200 million shilling car, because you can get a brand new car at 100 million.
Correct.
Maybe 90 million. You
Right.
can even get 75 million. Brand new car. Doesn't have to be that big. So I wonder why they are taking 200 million. But I am not going to hold it against them, because the former parliaments have been doing the same thing. So maybe it's part of their comfort, just maybe they're giving them something maybe to stop people trying to bribe them or something, some kind of an inoculation against maybe corruption. I would guess so. Maybe it's not. I don't have a large opinion on that, but I would think if they would get a $75 million shilling car, that's not a bad thing. But then the money they are taking home, that one I do not begrudge them, because the people in Uganda think like legislators are like a gift that keeps on giving.
Right.
People expect the legislator to give out money for burials,
right,
to give out money for school fees, give out money for sick patients. These people suffer stupid. They suffer stupid. What do I say? Suffer stupid. People do not send them to legislate. They send them to get food. It's like they're being sent there to Kusaka to get something for them. So these people they do not expect an MP to be poor. So they say, hey, tugenze kulia, we have gone to eat. You have gone to eat. Okay? So people are like, people will not elect you. Segirinya's job is to legislate. I know he cannot do that. It's beyond his capacity. But
you were talking about somebody who is smart, who has been
he is smart on local politics
and lobbying.
Yeah, no, politics is local. All politics is local. Locally, he's good because that's what the people want. They want you go up there. Hold on a minute. They want you to go out there, get food, and bring it to the table. Get medicine and bring it to them. They don't want you to legislate. They don't care about legislation. That's what our population wants. That's where our population is. Our population is not interested in legislation. They are interested in the goodies. So if you bring the goodies, you are the hero. So Segirinya is a hero to the local population he represents. That's why the local population elected him, despite the fact that he didn't even campaign. This guy was elected despite the campaigning. So this is what I'm saying. Our legislators have an unenviable job. Their job is unenviable because people are expecting you to be their father, mother, and everything. They're expecting you to bring the goodies. Somebody lost a relative, the kid has no school fees, somebody is sick, somebody is that. They expect you every burial. If you don't appear, they will hold it against you. They will not elect you.
All right.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Richard. We are running out of time today, but we want to thank all our viewers for always being part of our show and sending us your comments, your views, your suggestions on what to think we have to work on and our discussions in general. But the most important part in life, like we said as we close the show today, is as you go out to vote for your candidates and look at how your politics is running, the question you should always ask, and we've always talked about this, are they going to help you economically? Are they going to help you social life? Are they going to improve or change something that many Ugandans fail to see? And that's why you vote for those politicians who just go there to eat and come out and brag that, oh, holy God, we understand how great it is. We are in parliament and we are supposed to eat. That's why you are suffering as a Ugandan. That's why everything's not working out your way. That's why when you're put in a lockdown, nobody cares about you. By now, we would be seeing Parliament sitting every single day to find out what they have to do to solve the problems of the lockdown. For now, Richard, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your submissions today. Yeah. And to our viewers, we appreciate every single time you put in to watch our shows. We thank you for always being part of us and for sharing our programs. We hope to have you again next Saturday, same time, same area, different discussions. Have a good week. Coming up is Your Voice. See you next time.
Education is the key to unlocking your family's financial future. At Burlington Community Financial Center, We help families resolve their financial complexities by working with them to create clear and